I know you gonna dig this.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a video about Kurt Cobain in Seattle and his last days. I'm not gonna do it in any sort of particular order. I'm gonna start out here where I am, and I'm gonna talk about Kurt throughout the video. Now, to say I'm a huge Kurt Cobain fan is putting it mildly. When he passed away, it was devastating to me, my friends. We were at that age when grunge, when it took off, when it hit, we were at that age where it just hit. And it hit for us, and hit for so many millions of people around the world. And Kurt Cobain's now this larger-than-life figure. And sadly, I'm here in the city where he passed away. I'm gonna take you around and show you a few places connected to Kurt in this video. Now, I don't normally say this on my channel, but subscribe, because if you are a fan of Kurt and Nirvana and Seattle music scene, you're gonna like what's coming up on my channel, because I've got some other cool places and other cool videos coming up, so subscribe. I want you to see them. All right, now look at this place. So this is Linda's Tavern. This is a place in Seattle. It's a landmark. It was owned, and still owned, sorry, by Sub Pop, partially owned, who signed Nirvana to the record label. And Kurt would come and hang out here a lot. And a couple of nights before his death, this is where he was last seen. And we're gonna go inside. I'm gonna have something to eat. I'm gonna show you around inside. All right? Let's take a look inside Linda's Tavern, where Kurt Cobain was last seen. Linda's Tavern. Great coffee. It's early in the day, just open, and what an ambiance. And if you look up there, nice photo of Laura Palmer. Easily one of the best grilled cheese sandwiches that I've ever had. Wow. So they were playing some loud 90s alternative, Breeders, Smashing Pumpkins, Liz Phair while I was there, and to avoid any copyright issues with YouTube, I'm gonna have to do a voiceover for this part. But one of these booths here that I'm filming is where Kurt Cobain was last spotted. Now, I'm not sure which booth, that's why I'm filming all of them. And like I was saying before, Bruce Pavitt and Jonathan Pullman from Sub Pop Records, who signed Nirvana, still own a piece of this bar. It's a really funky, cool place. Loud 90s alternative while you're having lunch. There is nothing better. Come here when you're in Seattle. You'll have a great time. And I heard it gets pretty out of hand at night. It was quiet, relatively speaking, while I was there at this time. So now I'm gonna take you somewhere else about Kurt Cobain and his last days. And I'm not going in any particular order. And I'm not doing it in a very really clinical, analytical way. Give you all the details. No, I pretty much every movie, documentary, every book about Kurt, every YouTube video, everything to do with Kurt, I've read or seen. So I'm just going by memory. And I'll tell you a little bit about his final days while I'm filming this. And it's gonna be tough because, and I don't mean physically getting around, or it's gonna be tough because this is a place Seattle's where I want to come, and primarily because of Kurt Cobain, because he had such a big influence on my life. And so, yeah, but I remember when my cousin, I was a sullen teenager, really into Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, all those bands, Alice in Chains, Mudhoney, the Melvins, all of it. And my cousin woke me up in the afternoon of April 8th into my room, knocking on the door, and I was like, "What?" And she said, you're not gonna like this." I said, "What?" And my bedroom was covered in Kurt Cobain posters, Nirvana, all of it, just a shrine to music. My place still is. And told me the news, and it was devastating. Ugh, it's so weird. It takes you right back thinking about it. I'm sure for a lot of you fans, write in the comments about where you were when you heard that Kurt Cobain had sadly taken his own life. I like to read that positivity in the comments, so please. So now let's go somewhere else. You know what? I've got a few places I want to go to in this video, but I'm going to take you to Kurt Cobain's house now. The house where he spent his last few hours. Let's go there. Okay. So here I am at Veretta Park, which is a little park right beside Kurt Cobain's house. And I'm gonna show you the benches that people come and write all over. And Kurt was spotted, and he liked to come and sit here on these benches a lot, and he was spotted here the days before his death. I don't know how much time he spent here. I believe the house, him and Courtney Love only owned the house for about 4 months before he took his life. But it's right beside the park. And for regular watchers of my channel, viewers, I don't get nervous ever on camera. I don't get anxiety. I do get anticipation, like excited about going to locations. This is a different kind of excitement and anticipation, but there's also a great deal of anxiety in me. This video is not about me, but I just thought I would add that in because this is a place that means a lot to me. It means so much to so many people around the world. And I never thought I'd actually come here. Part of me didn't want to. Because I didn't know if I'd ever wanted to leave if I just came and sat here. And also in my mind, picturing it with this park and the house, it's hard to believe I'm actually here after all these years. So here, there's a couple of benches here. Here they are. Now these aren't the original slats in the bench. The metal parts, I'm assuming it's made of metal. Yeah, they're original. But the benches, like the wooden parts, were replaced and they were sold at auction because they were worn down. But yeah, these are the benches. I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I am not. Kurt, I will love you so much. I always will and always will see Kurt. I'll never forget how to make penny royalty. Jordan, age 13. I'm so happy because today I found my friend. A lot of people writing Nirvana lyrics here. I'm so ugly, that's okay, because so are you. Wow. Now, I know that I just said when Kurt took his life, I said that on the video a second ago. I know in the comments section people are going to start writing, he was murdered, blame Courtney Love, things like that. That's fine if that's your opinion and that's what you think. Much love and respect to everybody who's going to write something in the comments. Just be respectful, please. I personally have watched every documentary, like I said, everything to do about Kurt Cobain. I think sadly, the truth is he took his own life. And the way it was explained, took his life on April 5th, 1994, 25 years ago this week. And he did it. He shot himself up with a lot of heroin, then shot himself. And for people that think that you can't inject that much heroin and actually do something afterwards, well, I gotta tell you, for a drug addict, the more drugs you do of a certain drug, the more higher your tolerance gets. And it gets higher and higher, and you're always chasing another high, and you're trying to get, and that's what it is. You're always trying to get to another level. Every time you're high as a drug addict, you're trying to get to a different level. And So Kurt Cobain, he pumped himself up with a lot of heroin, and he can still function after that. I've read what doctors have said that, yeah, it's more than possible, especially able to pull the trigger and shoot himself. Also, another thing, I think Courtney Love, to blame Courtney Love, I mean, they're having problems at the end of the marriage, that's well documented. But Dave Grohl and Chris Novoselic from Nirvana, they're now on good speaking terms with Courtney Love. If they thought Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain, would they really talk to her still? I don't think so. And be on good terms. That's just my opinion. I know that people are gonna swear at me and yell at me, say, no, he was murdered. It's fine that you have that opinion. Let's just honor the memory of Kurt Cobain and where I am right now and where you are with me right now. Now I'm gonna show you the house. So there's the house. Right there. I'm gonna see if I can get a better view. The garage with the greenhouse above it has been torn down. Courtney Love had that torn down. But there are pictures online, you can see many of them. And a photographer went up there, through there, and took photos of Kurt lying and the police investigating his death. Right up that hill he went in and took photos facing down. You can find those online. I don't need to put them in the video. There's a little pathway through here, well worn, but there's the house. Wow. So there's a bit more of the house there. It's very difficult to see anything of the house, but the garage with the greenhouse was right up that way to the left. And yeah, it's gone now. Apparently there's a willow tree, could be an oak tree or willow tree, where they spread part of Kurt's ashes. And Courtney Love wrote a clause into the agreement when she sold it that she has the right to come and take that tree. I don't know if that's true, this is what I've read. Take that tree whenever she wants. That's what I've heard. Up here, around back, you can really get close to the house. I'm not gonna go too close. But yeah, wow. This is incredible to see. Take a look at that. This is the view from Kurt Cobain's park. Look at it. If you're a Kurt Cobain fan, this is where you would come first when you land in Seattle, if you're coming here. And I'm gonna sit and relax off camera and look at that view and just think about where I am. I'm not a Kurt Cobain expert. I'm a huge fan. I do know a lot about him. There's gonna be a million people out there that know about his life and death and legacy more than I do, that's for sure. But a lot of people can't make it out here for whatever reason. So I'm doing this video for you. You personally. You, the Kurt Cobain fan that's always wanted to come here. This video is for you. This is heavy. Now I'm going to take you to a couple of other places from the last days of Kurt Cobain. This isn't in any order. It's just me driving from place to place. But yeah, a few other places I want to see to do with Kurt. And you come along with me, okay? I'm just going to chill on the bench a little bit longer. Different view of Kurt's house from the back. I didn't realize how much was actually visible from the back. But yeah, wow. Okay, well, there you go. The garage would have been right down there, up that driveway. So I hope you can hear me. It's a busy little thoroughfare here. This is the Marco Polo motel behind me. This is Aurora Street. This used to be a dirtier, more nefarious part of town, so to speak. Kinda full of drugs, prostitution, a lot of other buildings being torn down, the air is being rebuilt. This motel still stands, and this is a place where Kurt was seen in his last few days. Room 226. He liked this, it was out of the way. The room 226 is down there in a little corner, so you could kind of have a little bit of privacy and people could come and go. Now, here, let me show you the motel before I tell you something. It's got that old 70s, 60s, 70s style of architecture. I don't know what you call it, but it's been around a long time, this motel. Now, would you like to go inside room 226? And see the inside of where Kurt Cobain, the motel room where he used to stay. And in his final days, he was here. And not only that, another room here that Kurt used to stay at, that the owner told the manager, Jonathan, who's gonna take me in, told him about, that Kurt used to stay in another room here too, and nobody knows about that. I'm gonna go into both rooms. Jonathan's gonna take me. This is really cool. As a Nirvana fan, my heart is just pounding that I'm gonna go inside these rooms. Kind of a little shell-shocked, but yeah, to be here in person, it's incredible, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. You, the Nirvana fan, the Kurt fan. Let's go inside. This is Kurt's room, huh?
Yeah, this was the hangout.
This is
At
where
least twice that we know, the owner was here.
This is where he was one of the last places he was seen.
Yeah.
It's a great little room.
It was quieter, it was more out of the way.
Yeah, kind of situated off to the back here.
He could have whoever coming and going. I think he did it to escape, but of course there was a certain environment on Aurora here, which was the Wild West.
Right.
At the time.
And now it's pretty much a cleaned up area, right?
It's
a lot
pretty,
different.
very cleaned up, yeah. It's very tame. All the nefarious activity has moved north.
Really?
So, that's about all I can tell you. There's a lot online about it.
Yeah,
There's some
I've read
writers that have stayed
extensively.
here. Yeah.
Really cool. Thank you so much for letting me see this.
Yeah, but I can tell you that maybe except for the carpet, it mostly has stayed the same.
Same
It would have
furniture?
the same, sorry?
Same furniture?
Not literally.
Yeah.
But the same style.
Right.
Nothing's been updated. It's very little change from what was at the time.
Wow.
So, all of these, the only thing that may be missing at this point is this was one of those little wooden folding things.
So you could privacy barrier. Yeah.
So, but you can see he or whoever stays in here, it's out of the traffic. It's out of the way. There are no windows to the outside traffic area. So,
View down there, yeah. So here I am in room 226 at the Marco Polo, where Kurt Cobain liked to stay. This is it. Incredible. Just kind of let it soak in, let it wash over me where I am. Kurt's room, one of the last places he was seen before he passed away.
2 beds.
You like this room as well, but the other one's the main room.
Yeah. That's the one that has the legend
Right.
attached.
And a lot of people book it just because of Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, they don't know about this. We don't tell people. If you're here, I'll tell you.
Thank you so much.
But again, this motel has hardly changed in 20 years.
Yeah.
And so you're same traffic, same noise,
Yeah.
different culture surrounding the neighborhood now. It's a
Yeah.
very good, clean neighborhood.
Very artsy as I was driving up towards it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I found it to be. Very,
Yeah.
like, very cool and very funky.
Yeah.
All of Seattle is, though.
sure. Fremont is about 12 minutes, the other side of the street, down the hill.
Right.
And so that was always funky place.
Yeah.
The rest of the neighborhood is kind of boring. And that's, I don't know, that's about it. So.
So not a lot of Nirvana fans know about this room, huh?
No, but
I'm the first.
when I first came here, I've been here 10 years. I ran through they kept little 3x5 cards of all the incidents and all the rooms and all that stuff.
Right.
So that period when he was staying here, there was much more drug use. Somebody would throw a TV out the window. Somebody would steal this or that. You know, it was
a rougher time.
It was a little rougher time,
Yeah, and especially the company that he kept in his last few days,
I think so.
coming and going.
I'll see you later.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime.
The secret room.
Well, maybe you want to get the signage, you know. That
Yeah, I'm
hasn't
gonna do that
changed
now.
either.
Yeah. All right, how cool was that? That was awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. And look what he gave me. These are vintage Marco Polo motel postcards that people are selling online because of Kurt Cobain. And he found them when he started working here a few years ago, 10 years ago or something, he said. And he gave me a few of them. Pretty awesome. Thank you, Jonathan, from the Marco Polo Motel. Now we're gonna go to one last place on this Kurt Cobain journey. All right? It's a weird place to end the video where I'm gonna end it, but it's just kind of the route I'm taking. I've been planning this video for, 25 years. I've wanted to come out here. Seattle, see all these places. 25 years. This week. But I've been planning to make this video now for 3.5 months, 4 months, during this exact week. And now that I'm here, I decided to wing it. Instead of going on the route that I had planned and being very distinct and talking about everything specifically about how it happened. This is more of an emotional journey for me and I hope for you. That's how I'm dealing with it. That's how I'm doing it. I hope you like it. Let's go. So here I am at the final location. And right here, this used to be Stan Baker's Sports. And this is where Kurt Cobain and his friend Dylan Carlson bought the shotgun that Kurt used. Right there, in that building. I'll show you a little closer. You see it right there. Here's how it looked back when Kurt came here. Yeah. So I just realized something while I'm making this video. Well, besides the fact that I already mentioned I went completely out of order and I did a loop around the city, and if I reversed the loop, I would have filmed it completely in order of his last days. But for me, it wasn't really about that. It was more about seeing the places and I guess just the order in my head made sense. And I hope it made sense to you too. But for maybe some of my regular viewers that watch my channel, they don't know the story of what happened with Kurt Cobain. I'll give it to you in a nutshell. Essentially, well, he's was the lead singer of this huge band, Nirvana, that exploded, bumped Michael Jackson off the pop charts, Michael Jackson's Dangerous album, Nirvana, with their album Nevermind, and became a global phenomenon. Released another album after that, In Utero. Now then, Kurt just had a lot of problems with depression, drugs. He overdosed, or was it a suicide attempt, in Rome in March of '94. Discrepancies about that. Came back. His friends had an intervention for him at the house. That was over the course of 2 days. Then he went to LA and he went into a rehab facility, Exodus in Marina Del Rey. Hopped the fence, got out of there, came back here to Seattle and wandered around town. People couldn't find him. Courtney Love hired a private detective to find him. But he was seen around town in various places, and this is one of the places behind me. He had his friend purchase a gun for him because the police had confiscated all of his guns, and Kurt told his friend Dylan that he needed the gun for protection. So, he bought the gun. Here's a receipt. And he insisted on holding on to the gun himself. Wait, then he went to LA. Oh gosh, I'm doing this from memory. Then he went to LA and came back. I think that's, now that I'm thinking about it. Well, this series of events, you catch my drift. As he was in the, around Seattle, seen in the various places I took you, finally ended up at the house. And that's where it came to an end for Kurt Cobain. Like I said, some people are gonna hate on this video, that's fine. Hate on me, that's fine. And have different opinions and think that he was murdered. I personally believe it was suicide, but you can say what you think. Just be maybe respectful and polite in the comments. But I'm always open and like to hear from people. And this video was made for Nirvana fans and Kurt fans like myself, and for maybe new fans that are just getting into Kurt Cobain now, the new generation, because he's just as popular as ever. God bless Kurt Cobain. I'm gonna end the video now. As a self-deprecating Canadian and a polite Canadian, I don't like to, self-promote, but I'm telling you, subscribe to my channel because I've got some really cool stuff coming up to do with Nirvana and other music-related things in Seattle, but something big about Kurt Cobain coming up for the 25th anniversary of his death, which is, some people say, the official report is he shot himself on April 5th. Some people say they saw him on the 6th. It was April 5th is the official date of death, and his body was found 3 days later. But watch for that video coming up soon. I've got something really, really, really special planned that nobody else is, well, you'll see. I hope you liked it. I hope you like it, and I hope you liked this. I'm sorry if I've talked a lot. Well, you know what? It's my channel. I'm supposed to talk a lot. I love you. I love Kurt Cobain. Peace out. Ooh, I almost just slipped. Take a look down here while we're here. This is Seattle. This is the Pacific Northwest. There's little hills everywhere, mountains all around. It's gorgeous. It's exactly what I thought it would be. Love Seattle. Jet, where'd you go? Come here. Hey, buddy. Hello. What a friendly dog. What a happy dog. He wants to go somewhere.
Yeah, he's
Take it easy.